So, here's the deal. Does everybody now understand the anatomy of the tire?
Yes.
Sidewall, shoulder, tread, that type of thing. Kareem, can you hand me the wheel behind you?
Yes.
Yep. All right, so, a couple more terms we got to talk about. When you have a wheel, this is the face of the wheel, okay? See in here, see how the wheel kind of comes to its lowest point? That's called the drop well. You are going to need the drop well. The drop well will be your friend.
The drop well.
Yes.
The base of the wheel.
The drop well is what you're going to push the bead of the tire into when we actually do it on the machine. Because if you think about it, you got to have some space you can push that bead so it'll be able to be wiggled, right? Now, see how the face of the wheel is all the way at the front? That's called its offset. Now, I got to look this up for you guys. I might be messing it up, but I've got to double check.
What's the offset?
See how the face?
Uh-huh.
See how it's all the way out?
Yeah.
That's its offset.
Oh, okay.
If it were dead in the middle, it would be a 0 offset.
Okay.
This, I believe, is positive offset. When you have a deep dish and the face is all the way inside, that's a negative offset. Okay? Out here, actually this side, that is the flange. So see that little spot up there?
Uh-huh.
See how it goes flat and then it kind of bumps out?
Yeah.
That little bump is your flange.
Okay.
Like if we have to hammer on weights, that's where we hammer them onto.
Flange.
So that's your rim flange. Now, see in here, this area and this area? That's your bead seat. Guess why? Because it's where the bead sits. I know, we're a creative bunch, us technicians. Okay? The bead sits on the bead seat. Okay? Now, the biggest thing about the wheel, we also have a bolt hole pattern. Right? And the bolt hole pattern is going to be how far apart the bolts are and how many they are. So, that's your basics of rim anatomy. You have your basics of tire anatomy. Now, oh. It's all right. Just hop into a seat right here. All right, so we have a visitor, everyone. For now, just ignore that he's here. We'll just keep rolling with our class. So, guys, on the tire, how do you know what to inflate this to?
32 psi.
Car driver.
32 psi. How do you know that, Todd?
Car driver side door.
You read it where? I appreciate you. I'm going to just keep going with this. What book?
Manual.
Which manual?
The one in the car.
This book.
Oh, okay. I appreciate your effort strongly, but
I'm wrong.
you're close. Here's the thing. And actually, who said sidewall first? The thing about that is, and I'm kind of glad you said it, because you will get a ton of customers who come in and go, man, my tire's fine. I put 50 PSI in it. Why did you put 50 PSI in it? Well, because the sidewall of the tire says 50 PSI. Yeah, no. No, that's bad. 50, the tire is going to give you the max inflation for this tire. The max inflation of the tire is not necessarily what that vehicle needs. The manufacturer, so remember what I say, the tire is the first line of your what? What system?
Legal suspension, right?
Suspension system. Then I also tell you it's the first line of your steering system. Then I also tell you it's the first line of your brake system.
Yeah, first line of everything.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So the manufacturer knows, based off the rest of the way they put the vehicle together, what they want that tire to do, how they want it to perform. So you have to open up the car door.
And check the bottom of the board, the side of it.
Well, right, sometimes it's on the door, sometimes it's on the door jamb,
Yeah.
but there's always a sticker there. Do we remember what that sticker's called?
We got there.
Guys who just came out of intro, you should remember.
I forgot what it's called.
The sticker on the door or the door jamb in the car, it's on the driver's door.
No, not today.
Tire placard. It's our tire placard. That's what tells you the weights that each axle can handle. It'll tell you the proper inflation and the proper tire size. Some cars use different tires on the front than on the rear.
I want to say that in the owner's manual.
Well, here's the problem about the owner's manual. The owner's manual may not be specific to that model. Let me give you a classic example. Volkswagen. Volkswagen is infamous for making one model with like 4 submodels, and a sport suspension, and a touring suspension, and guess what?
All of them did that.
They are all a little different, and they may have different tires. Usually, to keep their costs down, auto manufacturers will produce one owner's manual. If you want to know what goes to that car, you have to go to the tire placard. Glorious, guys.
The tire,
Focus on this now.
Okay.
You can go back to that.
the tire placard somehow got scratched off. I'm guessing Pro Demand will give me the correct.
You're going to want to go to an information service system. So Pro Demand, All Data, Mitchell, somebody, because yes, now you're going to have to go by VIN number and searching it. You will see that if a car's been in a collision, it's had body work, that type of thing. It's possible. Not likely, a good body shop will replace the placards. Okay. Other things on the tire. Size. 225, 45, 7R17. Let's start with the easiest one on there. What's the R mean? Oh, don't mean,
Right. Means radius.
you say right, you say radius. I was going to say round.
Radius and round, same thing.
No, radius around something.
Radial, not radius. Okay, remember we talked about plies?
Uh-huh.
We're going to get into this tomorrow, but the way the plies lay, if they lay at a crisscross or if they lay just in the circle of the tire, how I put the plies together is going to be a difference between a bias and a radial. One is very soft, really good, absorbs a lot of hit. They use it on trailers a lot. Will be your bias. However, bias, because they're very soft, does that sound strong?
No.
No, they don't handle abrasion real well, and they don't handle high speed real well. They get a little wobbly. The sidewall is not as tough. However, not as smooth, but definitely stronger, definitely handles high speed, is radial. So most of them, pretty much all of our on-road vehicle tires are going to be radials. 225, that's called the section width. All right. Mr. Sweat, do me a favor, come on up. Explain to me where the difference, where the shoulder to shoulder, where the tread runs. Because we went over shoulder, tread, and all that before break.
Yeah, we did.
So, show me where shoulder to shoulder is on the tire. Not on me, I'm all good. I don't need the size right now.
Right here and right here.
A little bit closer, go in. There to there. Does everybody see that?
Yeah, we said.
Okay? You see the difference on where you said it? Because you were down here on the turn. You want it where the turn starts. Right? Good job. Shoulder to shoulder. That section width, 225. That's how many millimeters that is. 45 is a percent. So 225, 45. What it's saying, my sidewall, okay? Preston, come on, which part of this is a sidewall? Where does the sidewall go from? Pretty much right up there, yeah. Okay, I'm game with that, I like that. That section there. And this will make sense if think about logically. Doesn't that look like it's almost half the amount? Not my music selection, but I can own it, it's okay. Here's the deal. If you think logically, doesn't that look like it's almost half of that? That's what that number means. 225 section width, 225 millimeters. My sidewall is 45% of my section width. Whoa, whose mind just got blown because now the number actually makes some sense.
It's just a little bit less than that.
Right, but keep in mind, what that means is on any tire now, can I do the math to figure out how wide and tall I want my tire is to stay in the same realm?
Yeah, as long as you have those two numbers.
Yeah, because if I have those two numbers and I have at least one number of where I want to go, can I do the math to figure out what sidewall I need? Or if I want my sidewall to stay the same, because I don't have much room in the wheel well, now can I figure out what section width I want to go with? Whoa! Changing tires just became a lot easier, didn't it?
So you said the section width, the sidewall is 45% of the section width?
Section width is 225 millimeters.
45% of that.
45% of that is what my sidewall is.
Alright.
So if I do the math, right? Think about this for a minute. If I do the math, and we'll do this tomorrow. If I do the math, I can figure out exactly how many millimeters my sidewall is, right?
Yeah.
45% of 225. So then I know how much sidewall I have to work with. So if I wanted to keep the same size sidewall, couldn't I now change the width of my tire if I wanted to theoretically up to a certain point, my rim? Couldn't I keep my tire into changing the section width a certain amount now?
Okay.
Now, the last number on here, so we did 225, 45, R, 17. What's the 17 measure? Not radial, rim. What's the rim size? So in that one number, I know the width of my tread, the height of my sidewall, and the diameter of my rim. Right? I just got all my major measurements on my tire, didn't I? Now, there's a couple other things on here. This is going to tell you M&S. What do you think that means? It's not like a candy, man. It's not M&M's.
You said M&S?
M&S. Mud and snow. Now, look, don't get it twisted. When they say snow on this, they're not talking 2 feet. They're talking a couple inches. We're going to talk about severe snow rated. But this means a couple inches of snow, a little bit of mud, some mild off-roading, not donuts in the parking lot, not donuts at the campsite, but a little bit of mud, it can handle it. It's not a sport tire. It's not like we're going to put on your Ferrari. All right. Now, this one is also going to tell you max pressure is 50 psi. So I know what the max the tire can handle inflation. Now, you're going to see another one here. Tread wear, 280. Traction, AA. Temperature, looked like an A. This is what we call a UTQG. Uniform Tire Quality Guide. The numbers and stuff don't mean anything on their own. They're a comparison from one tire to another. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So basically, if the tread wear on this is 280, and I have a tire here that has a tread wear of 600, which one do you think is going to last more?
600.
Under all normal circumstances, and therein lies the problem. No two people drive exactly the same. But assuming Nichelle and Steven drove exactly the same, and Nichelle has a 600 tread wear tire, and Steve has a 300 tread wear tire, Steven should be having to change his first. The tread wears quicker. Now, remember, everything in automotive is a give and take, right? Have we figured that out yet? Everything's a give and take. So if I got a tire that wears the tread quick, it's probably pretty sticky, right? What do you think you might get out of that? Why have a tire whose tread is sticky and wears quick? What do you get?
Sharper turns.
It's going to stick to the road too, isn't it?
So let me ask you a question. So you said if they was driving at the same whatever, right?
Exactly the same.
All right. But say if she's in a sports car and he's in a Beetle.
We're not.
I'm just
Dude, you just went to comparing apples and beetles, okay?
I'm just asking. I'm just giving.
Remember what I said. The whole point of the tire is it's supposed to be comparing dead even.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So if she's in an SRT8 and he's driving a Beetle, so what I'm saying, if
You've already taken it out of the ballpark. They're not comparing them anymore. Are you going to use the same tire on a Beetle and on an SRT8?
no, you're not.
Okay.
What?
Move. That the UTQG is for you to say you have a Beetle and she has a Beetle.
Okay.
You even got the one with the nice little flower came in it, little
Yeah.
bobbin flower.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. I love it. Okay. Here's the deal.
Okay.
When you both have all other circumstances are equal,
All right.
then I can compare your two tires.
Okay.
It's meant as a buying guide so that you as the consumer or the tech advising a consumer can make the choice to tell them, look, I can get your Beetle to do donuts and stick to that pavement, but you're going to get a tire that wears quicker.
Okay.
Nichelle ain't driving like a maniac like you. Okay? She's just going down the highway. So she needs a tire that's going to last her. She doesn't need it as sticky.
Yeah, stick.
Okay? Now the other things on here are traction and temperature. You're going to see an A, a double A, a triple A, because A wasn't good enough. More A's is better. B is not as good as an A. Makes sense? But they compare how well they handle temperature, they dissipate heat, okay? And how well they get you from a stop. How much they're going to slip, wet weather, things like that. That's UTQG. So we talked about max inflation, we talked about size, we talked about UTQG, right? There's two other things on the tire that you have to be aware of. Let me find them on this one. 94W. Anybody got any idea? No, but that's actually a good guess because it's W. The width, remember, that was our section width. 94W.
Where?
Wait, somebody said it. Speed rating. Which one's my speed? The number, 94. Is it?
No.
Are you asking? You tell me.
Tell me.
Somebody go into their module on tires, look up, or go in your book real quick. There's a chart. In fact, there's two charts. Speed rating, load rating.
It's the maximum speed, right?
Well, it's going to give you the speed rating of the tire. What speed that tire is safe up to. Heck, Google it, guys. I see like 3 people looking.
What happens if you exceed it?
Well, you're jumping ahead. Let's first see which one is which, because I'm still asking you guys that. I never found out from you guys if it's a 94 is the speed rating or the W is the speed rating.
Speed reading on tire.
You got technology, use it.
Is the W is the speed rating. Indicates the-
Anybody got anything for me?
Say W is the speed rating and indicates the maximum speed at which it is certified.
And what maximum speed is that for a W?
90, let's say 94. I mean 97. This one say 97.
It's 168.
Yeah, 9. Or in that. No, because you're looking at, you're mixing 2 things. What was it on there? 168 miles an hour. Means that's what they've certified that the tire can handle before the rubber starts flying apart.
I see.
Now, the number 94, 97, whatever, that's going to give you load. How much weight I could put on that tire, how much load that tire can handle. Okay? We can talk about what happens when you change it. Now, here's the basic rule of thumb. Tomorrow we'll get into more details about what happens when you change it, or Kareem, what happens when you exceed the speed. I'll get into those things. But for today, here's the basic rule of thumb I need you to know with this. You are always allowed to go up. So if a car came with a certain speed rating and a certain load rating, you can always go better. You cannot legally go less.
Go up.
You can go up,
Go up.
you can't go down.
Gotcha.
Now,
Can't
what
go down.
what on the car is going to tell you the minimum of what you can go down to? Guys, we just talked about it.
Tire placard.
Hey, somebody listen. Tire placard. Okay, tire placard's going to tell me my bare minimum. I could go better than that, and I'm going to pay for it. If I could go better, I just can't go low. All right. Somebody tell me time check. Where are we at?
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. So here's the deal. I am not going to lecture anymore for you guys. I've lectured about a half hour. Okay. You have all the information you need for how to read a tire in terms of information on it and how to find it. You have your lab groups. What I want from you, you have a task sheet. I give you instructions in the video. I need to know year, make, model, VIN. Why do I have to know those?
So you can
To know what kind of car it
go
is.
to the car.
Because any other information you give me has no meaning unless I know what you're working on.
Right.
Right? So, year, make, model, VIN. You can pull any car you want. You can pull one of your group's cars. If you want to use one of the cars in the bullpen, just let me know. I'll tell you where the key is. Here's the deal. You can use any vehicle you want. But you got to get the door placard info for me.
Alright.
And you got to get the tire info. And then you have to make an assessment if the tire that's on the vehicle is good based off the placard. 3 things. Are we clear? Placard info. I need all the info off the tire. UTQG if it has it. Not every tire will have UTQG. But every tire will have size, load, speed, and max pressure. And then you have to tell me, comparing the placard to the tire, if it's good. Right?
Right.
Guys, it's your time. Anybody who needs to finish up the earlier tasks, I know there was one group that had to finish. You also can use this time for that. Got it?
We just said a video.
Yep. Yes. They're all video turning. Let's go.